The Ford Thunderbird is more than just a car. It's an icon of American automotive history, a model that redefined what a personal luxury car could be. First introduced in 1955, the Thunderbird wasn't meant to be a pure sports car like the Chevrolet Corvette. Instead, Ford's vision was different. They wanted a stylish, comfortable, performance-oriented coupe or convertible that could deliver both excitement and elegance. Over the decades, the Thunderbird has gone through numerous design changes, spanning 11 generations, each with its own personality. Today, we'll be diving into the details of the Thunderbird, exploring its exterior, interior, performance, and pricing across different eras, with a particular focus on why this car still captures attention decades after its debut. Let's begin with the exterior. From the very beginning, the Thunderbird was designed to turn heads. The first generation, released in 1955, came with a long hood, a short rear deck, and an unmistakably sporty silhouette. While it wasn't marketed as a competitor to the Corvette, many saw it as Ford's stylish response to Chevrolet's sports car. The low stance, the chrome bumpers, and the removable hardtop with porthole windows on later models gave the Thunderbird a unique flair. Ford described it as a personal car of distinction, and you can see why. Even today, the early models stand out at classic car shows with their timeless proportions and refined presence. As the decades rolled on, the Thunderbird's exterior evolved dramatically. The second generation, starting in 1958, introduced a larger, more luxurious body, featuring the iconic quad headlights and massive tail fins that defined the era. By the time the car reached its third and fourth generations in the 1960s, the design had shifted toward a sleek, jet-inspired look, with sharp lines, covered headlights, and sculpted fenders. The Bullet Bird of 1961-1963 remains a collector favorite, thanks to its futuristic styling and graceful curve. Moving into the 1970s, the Thunderbird became even larger, aligning with the American appetite for big personal luxury coupes. The fifth and sixth generations emphasized size and comfort over sportiness, with massive chrome grilles, vinyl roofs, and plush styling. While some enthusiasts missed the sportier edge of the earlier models, there's no denying the commanding presence of these Thunderbirds on the road. They were symbols of status, often associated with executives and professionals who wanted comfort with a touch of flash. In the 1980s and 1990s, Ford tried to modernize the Thunderbird once again. The ninth generation of the late 1980s brought back some sportiness, with aerodynamic lines, flush headlights, and a slightly more compact footprint. Performance-oriented trims, like the Thunderbird Super Coupe, with its supercharged V6, gave the model new life. The body design was cleaner, more modern, and a clear reflection of the era's automotive trends. Finally, in 2002, Ford revived the Thunderbird with the 11th generation. This was a retro-inspired two-seater roadster, designed to echo the original 1955 model. The rounded headlights, egg crate grille, and proportions were clear callbacks to the classic design, but updated with modern touches. While it only lasted a few years, ending in 2005, this retro Thunderbird reminded the world of the model's significance and gave collectors something special to cherish. Now, let's step inside the Thunderbird and talk about the interior. From the outset, the Thunderbird's interior was meant to be comfortable and stylish. The first generation featured bucket seats, chrome-trimmed dashboards, and a focus on the driver. Unlike the Corvette, which prioritized performance above all else, the Thunderbird balanced luxury with driving enjoyment. The wraparound windshield gave a panoramic view of the road, while the cockpit-like dash layout created a sense of intimacy. As the Thunderbird grew in size during the late 1950s and 1960s, so did its interior space and features. The second-generation model, for example, was offered as a four-seater, cementing its role as a personal luxury car rather than a sports roadster. Interiors became more elaborate, with wider rear seats, more advanced radios, power windows, and even optional air conditioning. By the mid-1960s, Thunderbirds offered features like tilt-away steering wheels and sophisticated dashboard layouts with aircraft-inspired gauges. These touches made the Thunderbird feel futuristic and luxurious for its time. In the 1970s, the Thunderbird's interior became more about comfort and opulence. Plush velour or leather seating, wood grain dashboard trims, and expansive rear seating created a lounge-like experience. These cars were designed to float down highways while passengers enjoyed a smooth, quiet ride. Some models even included opera windows in the rear roof pillars, adding to the sense of exclusivity. When the 1980s and 1990s rolled around, Ford updated the Thunderbird's cabin with a more driver-focused layout. The Super Coupe of the late 80s and early 90s, for example, offered sportier bucket seats, a leather-wrapped steering wheel, and high-tech digital displays for its time. Meanwhile, standard Thunderbirds of this era still lean toward comfort, offering features like power-adjustable seats, climate control, and premium audio systems. The 2002 Revival Thunderbird had one of the most distinctive interiors of the model's history. It featured body-colored accents on the dashboard, round air vents, and retro-style gauges that mirrored the original 1955 design. The use of chrome and leather gave the car a premium feel, while modern amenities like heated seats, automatic climate control, and premium audio kept it practical for daily use. While it was a two-seater, the cabin felt spacious and airy, especially with the convertible top-down. Performance has always been a core part of the Thunderbird story, though its focus shifted over the decades. The early Thunderbirds came equipped with powerful V8 engines, ranging from a 292 cubic inch V8 in the 1955 model to larger displacement options in later years. These engines provided smooth acceleration and enough muscle to satisfy drivers looking for more than just style. While the Thunderbird was heavier and more comfort-oriented than the Corvette, it still delivered a rewarding drive with plenty of highway cruising power. In the 1960s, performance became more varied, with some Thunderbirds offering large FE Series version 8s, including the legendary 390 and 428 cubic inch engines. These cars could move quickly for their size, though they were still marketed more as luxury cruisers than sports cars. Handling was smooth and controlled, though not as sharp as smaller performance cars. By the 1970s, the Thunderbird prioritized comfort over outright performance. Massive version 8s were still under the hood, but emissions regulations and the oil crisis meant horsepower figures dropped significantly. These models weren't about speed but rather about effortless cruising. The focus was on ride quality, quiet interiors, and presence on the road. The performance pendulum swung back in the 1980s and 1990s with the introduction of the Thunderbird Super Coupe. Equipped with a supercharged 3.8-liter V6, this model produced around 210 horsepower and 315 pound-feet of torque. It was paired with a 5-speed manual or a 4-speed automatic, making it a fun and capable car. Reviews at the time praised the Super Coupe for its handling, ride balance, and surprising agility for a car of its size. The final Thunderbird, produced from 2002 to 2005, used a 3.9-liter V8 borrowed from Jaguar. With 252 horsepower and 267 pound-feet of torque, it wasn't a hardcore performance machine, but it provided smooth, refined power delivery. The car was more about relaxed cruising, especially with the top down, than about aggressive driving. Still, it had enough performance to satisfy drivers looking for a blend of nostalgia and modern capability. Now let's move on to pricing. The original 1955 Thunderbird had a base price of around $2,695, which was quite competitive for its time, especially compared to luxury imports. Today, those early models have become valuable classics, often commanding prices well over $50,000, with pristine examples or rare trims going far higher. Collectors especially prize the 1957 model, which is considered by many to be the pinnacle of the early Thunderbird design. In the 1960s and 1970s, the Thunderbird continued to be priced as an aspirational vehicle, typically costing more than a standard Ford sedan but less than premium imports from Europe. This balance made it a strong seller, with sales peaking during the mid-1960s. Adjusted for inflation, these cars were positioned similarly to modern entry-level luxury vehicles, appealing to buyers who wanted something distinctive without stepping into Cadillac or Lincoln territory. By the 1980s and 1990s, pricing varied depending on trim. Standard Thunderbirds were affordable for middle-class buyers, while the performance-oriented Super Coupe carried a premium. Today, models from this era can often be found on the used market at relatively low prices, making them an accessible way to own a piece of Thunderbird history. The 2002-2005 Retro Thunderbird started at around $37,000 when new, putting it squarely in the luxury convertible segment. While initial demand was strong, sales declined quickly, and the model was discontinued after a short run. On the used market today, these Retro Thunderbirds can be found in the $15,000 to $30,000 range depending on mileage and condition, making them an attractive option for collectors and enthusiasts looking for a unique convertible with heritage. To summarize, the Ford Thunderbird is a car that has worn many hats throughout its history. From sporty two-seater to luxurious four-seater, from massive 1970s cruiser to retro-inspired roadster, it has continuously adapted to the tastes and needs of American drivers. Its exterior designs have ranged from timelessly beautiful to boldly extravagant. Its interiors have been at times intimate and sporty, and at other times lavish and comfortable. Its performance has shifted between powerful V8 muscle and smooth, refined cruising. And its pricing has always placed it as an attainable dream car, accessible to buyers who wanted something special without venturing into ultra-luxury brands. The Thunderbird may no longer be in production, but its legacy is undeniable. It's a symbol of Ford's ability to blend style, performance, and comfort in a way that resonated with generations of drivers. Whether you're admiring a pristine first-generation model, cruising in a 1970s luxury coupe, or dropping the top on a 2002 retro roadster, the Thunderbird offers something unique, a reminder of an era when cars were not just transportation but also a statement of personality and ambition. And that is what makes the Ford Thunderbird a true American classic.